Yes people, what is happening, how are we all doing, and welcome back to the channel. This is the ultimate Lego Fortnite fishing guide. And in this video we're going to be covering every single thing you need to know about fishing, so let's not waste any more time, let's jump straight into things and let's do this. First things first then, if you're going to be doing some fishing in Lego Fortnite, you're of course going to need a rod, so that is what we're talking about first. In order to get access to the fishing rod recipes, you're going to need the following items. For a common rod, you're going to need cord. For an uncommon fishing rod, you're going to need at least one knot root rod. The rare fishing rod means that you'll need to have a flexwood rod. And in order to get the recipe for the epic version, you're going to need to have a frostpine rod. As you can see on screen, every single fishing rod is crafted at the crafting bench and all of them need very different items. Feel free to pause the video at any point so you know exactly what you're going to need for the fishing rod that you want. I would strongly recommend going with the epic one though, because quite clearly it's the best. So what exactly is the difference between these fishing rods? The only major difference is that the durability is better the higher up the rarities you go. And so that is exactly why I recommend crafting the epic one, and for that you're going to need the following items. You're going to need 4 frostpine rods, 2 drawstrings, 3 heavy wool thread and 3 arctic claws. Once you've got all of those things, as I said, you can craft it at your crafting bench and you are now ready to go out on your fishing journey. Fishing in Lego Fortnite largely varies depending on what biome you're in. The weakest types of fish you're generally going to be getting in the grasslands. If you decide to move into the desert, you're going to get slightly better ones, but not the top level. And then of course, if you do fancy venturing out into the ice biome, that is where you're going to find the really top level fish. Do keep in mind though that going to the slightly more difficult biomes doesn't necessarily guarantee you amazing fish though. You are still going to be picking up a hell of a lot of pretty standard floppers, which can get a little bit annoying. But that is your only option if you want to have a chance to catch the really good ones. Keep in mind though people, if you do happen to get extremely lucky and catch a legendary fish, I would strongly recommend holding on to it. Epic has actually told us that in the future we're going to be able to display our legendary fish that we catch, so I would make sure that you don't end up eating these. The next important thing you're going to need to get yourself is in fact the food processor. In order to build one of these, you're going to need 8 planks, 7 bones, 3 wooden rods and 6 granite. Build this just like you would any other machine and you're now ready to start chopping up the fish you've caught. Different fish are going to give you different results when you put them in the food processor. Your standard floppers that you're going to be catching all the time are just going to be broken down into fish fillets. They may not be that exciting, but they can actually be quite useful, and we're going to speak about that in a second. Other slightly more exciting fish though are going to get you other benefits that the poor quality ones can't. For example, if you manage to catch a particular type of slurp fish, when you put this into the food processor, it will still give you fish fillets, but it will also give you slurp juice as well. And basically that's going to be the case for all of the more exciting fish that we've got in the game. For example, the silver thermal fish is going to give you fish fillets, but it's also going to give you bright core and frost shells. So you really do start to see that it can become very beneficial to catch the top level fish, because when you're able to do that, you're going to get some really good items from it. The next thing you need to know about is how you can take some of your fish fillets over to a grill and make some of the brand new recipes. First off, if you manage to catch any blue small fries, you're going to be able to cook these and turn them into smoked fry fish. These are not necessarily anything crazy, but they're very easy to make and are quite useful heals on the go. Next up, we're going to be using some of the fish fillets we made over at our food processor, because we can now cook simple sushi. All you have to do is combine 1 fish fillet with some wheat grain and you're going to be ready to go with this one. But that's nothing compared to the black and blue shieldfish sushi, because if you manage to catch one of those fish and you combine it with 3 wheat grain, you're going to get a really good heal. And it will in fact give you 3 extra hearts over the top of your normal health, which is a nice little bonus. Next up then, we are going to be talking about bait buckets. In order to get access to these recipes, you simply need to take some of your fish fillets and put them back into the food processor again. Weirdly though, once you actually have the common bait bucket, you're going to need to take this to the juicer, because this is where you're going to find the recipes for the other 3 bait buckets: uncommon, rare and epic. Just like the epic fishing rod that we spoke about earlier, I would strongly recommend getting the epic version of the bait bucket too. And that means that you're going to need to have 1 common bait bucket, 1 slap juice and a spicy burger. That will allow you to make this thing at the juicer and then you're ready to use it. All you need to do is take this thing to an area of water and literally just throw it in there. It's gonna create an epic fishing spot for you. You can actually find these naturally in the Lego Fortnite world, but they're really rare, and this is the best way to guarantee one. It's essentially gonna give you every possible advantage you can in terms of fishing, which means you're less likely to catch items that aren't actually fish. And of course, if you're looking to get those really top level fish, maybe even legendary ones, I would strongly recommend doing this. Moving on then, as it's now time to talk about both sand and glass. These have both been added as new resources as part of the fishing update, and they're really important. First off then, in order to get sand, it is exactly as you would expect. Take yourself to an area where there is literally sand on the floor. The best example of this is the desert, and dig it up exactly as you would with soil. Now, in order to get glass, you need to take your sand back to wherever your machinery is, make sure that you have some bright core, and go to your metal smelter. And this works exactly the same as it does with iron bars and copper bars, except you're going to be using 2 sand and 1 bright core. That is going to give you your glass, which you are now able to use to craft some brand new items. If you go back to your crafting bench, you're going to have 3 brand new recipes. These are the spyglass, the basic compass, and the survival compass. Once again, feel free to pause the video if you want to take a look at exactly what these recipes are. First off then, we're going to take a look at the spyglass, and in order to get hold of this, you're going to need 4 glass and 1 knotroot rod. Once you've crafted this brand new item, it will go in a normal inventory slot. And essentially this thing is used for looking long distances. It will allow you to zoom out as far as you possibly can to see things in the distance. I'll be totally truthful with you though, I don't personally think it's that impressive. Don't get me wrong, it does help you a little bit, but in terms of the actual distances that you can see with this thing, I don't really think it's that far. Next up, we are looking at the basic compass, and in order to get this again, you need to go to your crafting bench, and you're going to need 2 glass and 1 wolf claw. This is really easy to get and extremely useful, and it's actually going to go in a brand new equipment slot, as you can see on screen. And as soon as you've done that, you will notice that at the top of your screen, you have now got compass markers like you get in Battle Royale. No more getting lost on a mission, because all you've got to do is follow the different compass points and numbers at the top, and you should be able to work out where you want to go. But if that's not impressive enough, why don't we take things to the next level? Because our next item is actually going to be the advanced compass, and as you can see on screen, what you need is 5 glass, 1 sand claw, and a copper bar for this one. Once it's been crafted just like the basic compass, place it in the brand new equipment slot, and the top of your screen is gonna go a little bit crazy. Because now not only do you have your standard compass directions on the top of your screen, you've actually got a ridiculous number of markers too. This is basically things like caves and all of your bases around the map, and it makes it so easy to find your way back to a particular place. If you follow a particular marker, it will even tell you the exact distance you've still got to go. This thing is going to be so useful. It's now time to talk about one of the brand new charms that was added with the fishing update, and this one is known as the Wave Breaker charm. In order to craft this, once again head over to your crafting bench, and you are going to need the following items. You're going to need 3 silk thread, 5 planks, 3 sand shells, and 5 orange floppers. Interestingly, with this charm, you don't just have to use one of them. If you want to craft more than one and stack them up, you can actually do that. And trust me when I say the results are in fact pretty crazy, and I'm going to show you that right now. On screen right here, we have our ridiculously slow, boring swimming speed that we've had since Lego Fortnite launched. Next up, we've got the result of 1 wave breaker charm, and as you can see, things are getting a little bit quicker, and we've even got a little bit of a blue trail going on. Here we've got the results of 2 wave breaker charms, and as you can see, Unicorn Boy is going a bit crazy here. The swimming speed is getting really fast. And then finally, we've got 3 wave breaker charms stacked up, and this is basically going to unlock a brand new swimming animation that we've not seen in Lego Fortnite before. It's very much like the dolphin diving from Battle Royale, and this is crazy swimming speed. It's unlike anything we've ever seen before. Last but not least, it's now time to talk about the brand new reflection charm, and I'm going to show you this one in sandbox mode because one of the items that you need for it is an absolute nightmare to get. In order to craft this new charm, you are going to need a vendetta flopper, which is ridiculously rare. You're also going to need glass, and then finally silk thread as well. Once you've crafted it, put it in one of your charm slots exactly as you would with any previous charm we've had in Lego Fortnite, and prepare to see one of the most pointless things you've ever done. So the job of this charm is to reflect back some of the damage that enemies do to you, but onto them instead, and it's utterly pointless. As you'll see on screen with this roller, it does 1 damage back to this enemy. It's a complete waste of time. You essentially have to purposely get hit by an enemy just to do the damage to it, which just makes no sense. You can actually stack these charms up just like you did the Wave Breaker charm earlier, and yes, you guessed it, it will now do 3 damage to this enemy. Don't get me wrong, the more damage an enemy does to you, the better this charm is going to be, but I just see it as a total waste of time and probably the winner of the worst charm in the game award. And there you go then people, that was the ultimate Lego Fortnite fishing guide, and that is going to be everything for this video right here. I'll see you in the next one, peace out.